Hi everyone, I'm Bree. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you my January book haul. I have a stack of about 27 books here, and it's a mixture of books that were sent to me from the publishers as well as ones that I hauled myself. Make sure you check down in the description box if there's something that catches your eye. I always leave the titles as well as the authors listed down in the description box for you guys. If it is a book that has not released yet, I will make sure to leave the release date as well. I don't want this video to be crazy long and take up too much of you guys' time, so let's just jump right into it. First up is a Harlequin special edition novel, and this is Her Homecoming Wish by Jo McNally, and this sounds like not necessarily second chance because the couple were never together, but it follows Mackenzie and Dan, and it sounds like Mackenzie had a big crush on Dan in high school and she has gone home and they're finally getting their chance, and it sounds like she was the good girl, he was the bad guy, and she's hoping there's still a little bit of a bad boy in there. Shout out to the Harlequin publicity team for my copy. Next I have Witness Protection Widow, and this is by DEBRA Webb. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know much about it. I just know that I really want to read more romantic suspense in 2020. It is a subgenre that I just kind of made up in my mind. It wasn't for me. But now that I've been reading Christine Feehan's Sea Haven series, which is paranormal but definitely has like an amazing suspense twist in each book, I definitely want to explore more romance authors that write romantic suspense to see how they balance just the right amount of suspense with the right amount of romance. Next I have Headliners by Lucy Parker. I know that this is a series that my friend Stephanie absolutely loves, so I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like she read this one recently because she did recently read an interracial romance. She was talking about how the focus was not on the fact that they were an interracial romance, and I feel like it was this one. My first Jenny Holiday romance, this is Mermaid, and this was sent to me from Forever Publishing. I absolutely love them, and I know my friend Lisa from Remarkably Lisa loves Jenny Holiday. She always has nothing but amazing things to say, so I am really looking forward to picking this one up. I know Lisa read this one and she loved it. Next is Temporary Wife Temptation by JAYCI Lee. I talked about this in my 2020 like most anticipated releases video, which I will leave up in the cards. This follows Garrett and Natalie. I know for Garrett, he is supposed to like take over his family's Los Angeles based fashion empire, and his mom has been on his case about getting married, so he links up with Natalie. So I'm really looking forward to it. This cover is like hands down one of my favorite romance covers of all time. I'm obsessed. Then I have Forbidden Promises by Cynthia Williams. This was another one sent to me from Harlequin, and this one releases February 25th. I'm going in this one trying to know the least amount about it as possible. Cynthia Williams is a new to me author, and I know the little bit of this I know, it sounds like it's going to be really dramatic because I think the love interest actually used to date the heroine's sister, so I'm really excited to pick it up and see what I think. To complete my collection of Christine Feehan's Sea Haven series, I needed 3 more books. I have Earthbound, Firebound, and Bound Together. This is a paranormal series, also with like a heavy element of suspense woven in there, and I'm just loving the way that the series is turning out. Like, I'm obsessed. An author that I've really been wanting to read is Jill Shalvis, and in particular her Heartbreaker Bay series. So my husband, on a random Barnes & Noble trip, called me the first 3 books in the Heartbreaker Bay series. So we have Sweet Little Lies, The Trouble with Mistletoe, and Accidentally on Purpose. And I know that this series takes place in San Francisco, but she recently did an interview on Smart Podcast Trashy Books, and they were talking about how even though it takes place in a city, just the way that she constructs the story, I don't know if it's like an apartment building all the characters live in or like a certain like subdivision or something like that, it also has like this really amazing small town feel in the big cities. One recently sent to me from the publisher is The Perfect Escape by Suzanne Park. This is a young adult romantic comedy. Follows Nate and Kate, and they meet at this like zombie escape camp. I'm really excited. I just really want to read more young adult contemporary this year, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Forever Romance just totally made my day. They sent me a copy of The Boyfriend Project by Farah Rashan. This is another title that I talked about in my like anticipated releases video, and I am so excited. This kind of gives me the feels of Lauren Lane's Central Park Pact series. It follows a character, her and a couple of other girls realize they've been dating the same guy, and they make this pact of like, let's put ourselves first, focus on ourselves, and then our heroine meets, I think his name is Daniel. She meets Daniel, and it like changes the game. Forever also sent me All I Ask by Corinne Michaels. This comes out in March, and I know my friend Stephanie already read it. She didn't give me any spoils. She was just like, I'm gonna wait for you to go ahead and read it. I'm really looking forward to this. I've only read one Corinne Michaels, which is crazy because I have looked at some of her books and they all sound like one that I would absolutely love, but I've only read one of hers, and it was a duet with Melanie Harlow, who is like one of my favorite romance authors. God, this book is freaking huge. This is is And Ladies of the Club by Helen Hooven Santmeyer. And okay, so my friend Kate Howe did like a video about books that she wants to read in 2020. And she got to this one and I was like, just some reason it sounded really good. So I went ahead and went on Thrift Books and ordered myself a copy, and we are going to be buddy reading it. We're literally starting with reading like 50 pages a day, but my copy is like 1,400 plus pages. So it's going to take a while, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've looked it up on Goodreads and it has amazing reviews. Like everyone says it is definitely worth reading your way all the way through. The Kissing Game by Marie Hart. I'm really interested in this one because I've been hearing some mixed things. It is an interracial romance. It is written by a white author, and some of the reviews that I have been hearing about just say that she maybe should have had some women of color read the book while she was writing the book. Still going to read it to form my own opinion, but I am going into this one a little bit nervous. It's How to Love Your Elf, and this is by Carolyn Sparks. This was sent to me from Kensington, and this releases in March. I'm really excited. I read one elf romance and it was like an erotica, but I loved it. And I'm just like, I need more elf romances. So really happy to have this one. Sisters by Choice, and this is by Susan Mallory. I'm really looking forward to this one. It feels like it's going to be more women's fiction than romance. It might actually be a straight up women's fiction novel, but I'm really looking forward to it. It feels like it's going to be the perfect spring read. And I just love stories that like center around female friendship and found family. The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. I hauled this because I was going to do this historical fiction readathon that my friend, the Girly Girl Bookworm, was hosting, and then I missed the readathon. I'm still really happy that I got it because so many friends have reached out to me and told me that they loved this book. And I really miss cozying up with a good historical fiction novel. Another used gem that I hauled is Years by Lavril Spencer. One of my favorite romance authors is Melanie Harlow, and Lavril Spencer is like one of her favorite authors, and in particular she always talks about this book. And I managed to find it for like $3 and some change. It is pretty beat up and I just love it so much. I love used books and I'm really excited to have this one. It sounds like it follows a couple over the course of a while, and I think it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. And if my favorite author loves it, I feel like I'm going to love it. The Reading Women, they sent me a finished copy of The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This is another one that was in my 2020 anticipated releases, so I'm really happy to have it. I am so excited to finally read Mia Sosa. I feel like I'm going to absolutely love her. Our heroine in this one is Carolina, who was left at the altar once upon a time, but she's now this big deal in like the wedding planning world, and she has to work with the brother of the guy that left her at the altar, and it sounds like he had something to do with his brother leaving her there. So I was not expecting this one. This one is Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson with lyrics by Malik16 Sharif, and I am so excited. It takes place, I think, in Brooklyn in 1998, and it sounds like it follows a group of friends whose friend died. He was murdered, and they like pretend that he's still alive or something like that. And I know there's music involved. Like she sent an entire playlist of like throwback R&B and hip hop, and I'm just so excited for this. My husband's from Brooklyn, so I'm like, after I read it, you have to read it. Another one that I hauled for the readathon that I missed was The Lovely War by Julie Berry. This takes place during both World War I and World War II, and I guess it has like Greek mythology intertwined in it. Like this is a young adult historical fiction novel, and I cannot wait to read it. And these last three. So I am in a Women in Gender and History course at the moment, and my thesis paper for that class I'm going to do on romance novels. I haven't really figured out the specific. I wanted some romance nonfiction to kind of make my way through and kind of get some inspiration for. So I have Beyond Heaving Bosoms, The Smart Bitch's Guide to Romance Novels by Sarah Wendell and Candy Tan. The Smart Podcast Trashy Books is one of my all-time favorite romance podcasts. I believe it was the first romance-focused podcast that I found. Dangerous Books for Girls, The Bad Reputation of Romance Novels Explained by Maya Rodell. This will be a reread for me. I read this with my friend Becky. Unfortunately, Becky doesn't make videos anymore, but once upon a time she was Beck's books. And we read this, I think, like 2 years ago now. But I'm just so happy to finally have a physical copy. I ordered it from Thrift Books and it is in perfect condition. And then one that my friend Angela from Books Are My Heart recommended to me was New Approaches to Popular Romance Fiction, Critical Essays, edited by Sarah S.G. France and Eric Murphy Selinger. I'm excited. I love kind of delving a little bit deeper with the romance genre, getting some of the history and just different tropes and how authors put all that stuff together. This is another one that I hauled used, and I found this one on eBay. All of the prices on like thrift books and aid books were like 20 bucks. I found it on eBay for $8, so it was a total steal. I had to go ahead and get it, so I'm really happy to have it. So that is my January book haul, guys. Let me know down in the comments below anything that you hauled in the month of January that you are excited for. I would love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.